Saturday, May 2nd, 07:16 a.m. New York time. Welcome back, investors, to Winning Wall Street's Money. Spirit Airlines company, Spirit Aviation, headquarters in Florida, Southeast Florida, Delray Beach, Florida. Yesterday did the press release announcement shutting down. This company, since it's in Florida, will have an impact on the Florida economy for tax revenue, for employment, unemployment. The biggest impact would be to that community, Delray Beach, and other cities that have the airline employment. But again, the headquarters typically has more staff and a bigger footprint since they have more leeway at the airport when it's their home base. Yeah, adding to unemployment and some people expecting not to get fully paid. Not necessarily the labor of the company, maybe some vendors they owe money to. The first persons in a bankruptcy that typically get billed out are the bondholders. The shareholders, they're often the biggest losers. So let me go a little bit more detail. Spirit, low-cost U.S. carrier, said on Saturday that all its flights have been canceled as it started an orderly wind down of operations, citing spiking fuel prices in recent weeks as a key factor. Hey, it's not just them, it's everybody. We all have to do the best we could to manage inflation. So the troubled carrier, which was looking for emerging from its second bankruptcy in a year, that's terrible, announced it was ceasing operations after a potential White House bailout fell through. So since it was a smaller carrier, ask yourself, why did they get special treatment, not JetBlue and other airlines? Let's see. The executive branch has a home in Florida. Executive branch home is not too far from this headquarters of Spirit. Spirit is in the state. Jobs, local. Politics, dirty politics. Again, it will have an impact to the state of Florida more than other states. I wonder who they're going to blame, the leadership. Who they're going to blame. And I'm talking about the political leadership. Let's go look at the chart. The company used to be listed on a different stock exchange. Since they've been under $5 for quite some time, they got changed, taken off one stock exchange and went to another stock exchange. Well, they were lucky. They did get to stay listed. So when they moved over to the OTC markets. That's not a well-known stock exchange. It's not prestigious compared to the other ones. So first off, we'll look at the chart here. This is a one-year chart, the daily chart. So far left, that high was $8.93. And here it is on Friday, closed at $1.045. Yep, penny stock, junk stock. And look, last week, the press release, the word that they're going to get a bailout from the White House did the pump. They pumped it up. In the last few days, timeline was getting closer. And look at the decline. So the pump, the dump. See what happens come Monday. Expecting worse. So now we're looking at actually I want to put this to 10 days. This is a 30-minute chart, 5 days, but we'll put it on 10 days. So 10 days ago, look, actually I'll put it back a little bit further so you can see more transparency. Put it on 15 days. 15 days, look at that. Not much activity. And then the rumors, the talk, the news about bailing them out. They pumped the stock up early in the morning. Big trades. The next day, bigger trades. Higher volume, pumped it up. Smart money, huge. See this huge volume there, that big spike in volume at the high? Smart money was selling, dumb money was buying. Again, it was distribution. Early buyers, smart ones sold at the high, and the dumb money was buying at the high. The past few days, again, people that were late in selling, see these big spikes in the morning. Also, ones that were late buying, the ones that didn't buy down here, buying in the mornings. Who was selling to them? The people that were selling late, but still getting out of it. So dumb money buying, huge volumes in the morning, market orders, and sell off. What about the people that are shorting? Yep, people making shorting were making a killing. Nice, good job out of them making money. Shorting means you're trading bearish. You make the gains on the decline. You sell at a lower price, and the profit is the difference from what you shorted at and bought it back at. And look at Friday. Huge dump in the morning, temporary pump. Can't wait to see how this is going to be Monday. Higher chance they might halt it on Monday. Now let's go to a 5-minute chart. This is one day. This is Friday. The open, 10:30, dump, 12:30, pump, and here we went. Again, major news. All this occurred news. See this all 515151. A lot of news in 427, 423 days. Again, you see a lot of stuff with the president's name here. Give you some insight. Right here, this airline company. Since I told you their headquarters out of Florida, you might have heard of another airline called Southwest Airlines. Their headquarters out of Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, at an airport called Love Field. Have you ever heard of Delta Airlines? I recall their headquarters out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'll get to the point in a minute. American Airlines, their headquarters out of DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Market share, politics, dirty money. Airlines, the big ones that have been around for a long time, the big airlines that have a lot of money, they spend a lot of money on lobbying. They lobby the leadership in the executive branch, that's the president, as well as the legislative branch, Congress, as well as they lobby hard to get their own people in charge of the FAA. But if you're not situation aware at the local level, your municipality, your county, your city, your state, often it's around the county area where you have the airports, your local government has board members that sit on the board of the airport in your area. They have a huge vote on policies at your airport. Example, if you go to Delta Airlines, if you go to Atlanta, Georgia, which is the headquarters, I recall, of Delta Airlines, yes, there are different airlines at that airport. And then you go to certain wings, terminals that are exclusive for Delta. So many signages. You see Delta, Delta, Delta. You see gates that have Delta, Delta, Delta. Maybe you see a few gates that would say in the past might be 1 gate, 2 gate, 3 gates. That would say Southwest, American Airlines, Spirit. The point is, if you go to DFW Airport, same thing. You'll see terminals full of signages for American Airlines and just American Airlines. And then you see other terminals that have smaller presence of Delta, Spirit, JetBlue. And I live here in Tampa, Florida, Tampa Bay, Florida. Same thing. You'll see a few airlines have the majority of the gates at the airport. Those big airline companies, they block competition. It's not criminal because your politicians didn't make a law against it. And again, the local county, they have a say on that. Now, the past county administrations years ago passed policies that have a long duration of life. So until they change that policy, that's how things are going to occur. But you could change that. I'll give you a little bit more insight. Yep. So They control, those big airlines control those gates, and they don't have to share those gates. So when you see go in a terminal, let's just say full Delta gates, and those gates are empty, no airplanes there, and maybe you see one gate that has JetBlue, one gate that has Spirit, that's it. Spirit, JetBlue cannot offer more flights in and out of that airport because they're limited on gates. And then you have gates sitting empty that are owned by American Airlines, Delta. Wow. Remember, I'm referring to 2 states, Texas, Florida, but other states too, that are controlled by which political party controls Texas and Florida. Doesn't matter the political party, but I'm just giving you a point. They are not in favor of free markets. They are in favor of getting a lot of lobbying money for their own self-interest. Okay, yeah, you can open up regional airlines, little tiny airports like Love Field in Texas. It's inside the city of Dallas, a small airfield. The majority of there is Southwest. They were able to lobby, get a small airport because the big airport, DFW, didn't want competition, the home base of American Airlines. Well, Houston also has small airports and big airports. Same in Tampa Bay, we have small airports across the bay. The local government has a say if you go open additional airports. The big airlines lobby the local government not to allow additional airports. Ask yourself, how many times have you seen new airports open? I'm not talking about renovation of current airports. I'm talking about new airports with more competition. Far and few between. Again, the word is free markets. Your local government and your federal government are lobby hard to do the most damage against the most amount of people. The point is, this airline situation could have been helped a long time ago, along with many other airlines that disappeared from mergers and acquisitions and competition. So when degenerates are saying they're better than the other side, they don't do good investigation. Yep, degenerates in the Congress saying it's the other side, or at the county or state level. Less competition. Where do you think prices will continue going? Less competition. They don't have to reduce prices. They can still make a sweet spot, keeping prices high. That's not good for the economy. That also hurts labor. If you support labor, happy May Day to those that celebrated it. Just to give you some situation awareness. Everything I just told you, I said so many times for so many years about the airline industry. It's nothing new. Get the mainstream media left and right don't want to share what I just said, regardless if it's a business media or political media. Yep. So thank you as always, spending just a little time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you kindly for your support. Quick, get to the airline. See if there's any lost and found. If someone has the same last name as you, you might get a free gift at Spirit. Good luck if you see someone working there.